Hi everyone! Welcome back to Salmon and Cod Playtime! I cannot wait to play with you today! Don't forget before the video starts to like and subscribe to us, okay? Alright, here we go! If you haven't seen our other videos on algebra, you need to go and watch those first. But if you have watched them, then you're in the right spot, because let's keep going, okay? In the past couple videos, we've been talking about food. Lots and lots and lots of food. And I showed you this model of one of our Chinese orders. Remember? This stood for chicken, this was for egg roll, and this stood for the rice. Well, in regular math, we really don't use shapes, like little shapes that look like this. It would be very confusing if we did, because even though I totally understand what this is, because I made it, and you now understand what it is because I've explained it to you. But if someone were just to walk past this example, they would have no idea as to what this is. They'd be like, what is that? They would just be clueless. They wouldn't be able to do any of the math that we've been doing because this is weird. Give it up. It's weird. So in math, instead of having little stars and little cool things like this, instead we use numbers and we use letters. And those letters stand for everything that's kind of odd. That's not a number. A group of things. They normally stand for groups of things, okay? Like, instead of having this little shape for chicken, instead we might use the letter C. Okay? Just a regular good old C to stand for that group of chicken. Instead of 2 egg rolls, we might put 2E. Okay? 2E for 2 egg rolls. And that makes sense. We can kind of understand that. Also, it makes sense because if I were to write this out using a calculator, I wouldn't be able to use all these little 3D shapes. But it's very easy to put letters on a calculator so that you can put things in groups. And you can describe those groups just by using one letter at a time. Okay? So that makes a whole lot more sense. So in math, your problems can look like 3 different ways. Okay? You can have just regular numbers, like the number 12. That makes sense. That's something that could be in math. Any number, of course, can be in math. Or you could have something that's just a letter. Let's use the letter B. I'm on a kick today. Let's use the letter B. Or you could have just a letter by itself. And that stands for a group of something. My daughter likes to always say it stands for a group of bears. Rawr. Okay, so maybe it's a little group of bears, but you can have letters. Or you can have numbers and letters. Well, what does this mean? Because we understand that this is the number 12. We understand that this could be a group of something like a group of bears. But what is 3B? Well, do you remember back when we had our parentheses? And we could put bears in our parentheses, one group of bears going into a sack. But this means we need 3 orders of these bears. Okay? That means we need 3 of everything that's in this sack. Well, when we write it like this, it's the exact same thing. This was 3 groups of everything in the sack, which it also means you could see it as multiplication, is what I'm trying to say. This could also be 3 times B. And when we see a letter and a number together, that also means multiplication. It means you're timing the 3 times the B. But since we don't know what B is, we can't really find an answer for that, so we just leave it just like that, just for now. So it's like there's a little implied multiplication sign there. What was that dot that I did? What was that? Do you know that's a multiplication sign? This can be a multiplication sign, and not to make it more confusing, but this little star thing can also stand for a multiplication sign. When we're doing multiplication in math, it can look lots of different ways. It doesn't just have the one little X as its sign. Sometimes it looks like a star, sometimes it looks like a dot, sometimes it can look like parentheses. But They all mean the same thing, and they all mean multiplication. Parentheses don't have to mean multiplication. It's only if there's a number touching them that there's no sign in between telling you what to do. If there's no sign in between your number and your parenthesis, it means multiplication. That's just what it means. Okay? All right. So that's what the letter and the number together mean. Now we know that this means a group of something, and this just means a number. Okay? Well, that was easy. I'm going to erase all this for just a second, because there's one special rule in math I want to go over with you today. And it is that when you're doing addition or subtraction in algebra, okay? Addition or subtraction, there's a rule that you have to know. And that is that you cannot mix numbers, letters, and numbers with letters. You can't add these three groups together. You can add all your numbers together, like 1 plus 2. You can do that. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay? You can add letters that are the same letter together, B plus B, and that would give you 2B, right? B plus B, you have 2B. Or you can add together letters with numbers that are together. You can also do that, okay? That's perfectly fine. But you cannot mix together a number with a letter. A plain number with a plain letter. You can't, or a plain number with a letter. You can't do that either. What do I mean by that? That all sounds very confusing. You're probably going, what are you talking about? Guess what? I'm getting ready to explain it. When you have a plain number by itself, just a plain number in math, okay? Plain number in algebra. Everyday plain number, any number you can possibly think of. I want you to think of that number as silverware, okay? Because I do everything in algebra like food. So I want you to think of just plain numbers as being silverware, especially like knives. Okay? And I want you to think of everything with a letter, no matter what letter it is, as being food. Okay? When you go to put things up in your kitchen, you always put your silverware together, normally in a silverware drawer or in a silverware cup or something like that. I don't know how your family does it, but mostly there's like a little silverware drawer in your kitchen where you keep your silverware, or a little cup or something that you'll keep your silverware in. But what about your food? Do you keep your food where you keep your silverware? No. You keep your food either in a pantry or in the refrigerator, because that's where your food goes. You got to keep it fresh and nice. So the food goes in the refrigerator. Do you put knives in your refrigerator? No! Why would you put a knife in your refrigerator? That's a little dangerous. What if you just reached in? You could cut yourself. That's very dangerous, and we don't want to do that. So we don't store our food where we keep our silverware. Okay? Well, my daughter, I always talk about math as food, but she always thinks of math as animals, especially little bears. She loves bears, and I always tell her, don't store your knives with your bears, because your bears will take the knives and they will chase you all over the house, and that's dangerous. That's horrible. That's scary. Bears with knives. It's very, very terrifying. You don't ever want to give a bear a knife. Just like in math, you don't want to mix your numbers with your letters. Never give your letters knives. Never. They don't add together. Because you're taking your bear, you're taking your knife, and you're putting them together. Bad. Bad. We don't want to do that. Okay? It's like a nightmare of math. Don't do it. It does not go good. Okay? So in math, when we're adding or subtracting, we don't take regular numbers and we don't add them to our letters. Okay? Because it could look kind of scary. It's like giving knives to bears. You just don't want to do it. Okay? So if we had a problem that look like? I'm going to make up a problem here. Let's do 11 plus B. We're going to go with B. I'm on a B roll today. Plus 3. Okay? What if we had something that looked like this? 11 plus B plus 3. Okay? Well, we can take our numbers and we can group those together. Okay? We can take this 11 and we can add it to this 3. 11 plus 3 is 14. Because we're grouping things up. We're taking the things that are alike and we can group those together and we can add the things that are alike together. So we can have 14. Okay? Don't forget to add your plus B at the end. And that's as far as we can go because we can't add knives with our bears. We can't add our silverware to our food. Okay? So it's going to be 14 plus B, and that one's all done. That's very good. Okay? All right, let me erase this. Let me get it all erased. There we go. Let's do another one. What if we had 12, I don't know why 12, plus B plus C plus 4. Okay? What if we had that? Are you ready? Find everything that's alike. Is this letter like this letter? Nope. So we're not going to add it together. Is this a number? Yep. Do we have any other numbers? Yep. Those we can add together. Okay, 12 plus 4 is going to be 16 plus B plus C, plus bears plus cats. 16 silverware plus bears plus cats. And that's as far as you can go. That's done. That's it for that one. Okay. Next lesson, we're going to do just a little bit more, and we're going to explain a little bit more. But for now, just remember, you can't mix animals, especially bears, with knives. It doesn't go good. Okay? Okay, if you like this lesson, please like and subscribe, okay? We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.